Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatītam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, Utpatti Prakarana, section 17. The mystic story of King Padma and Leela, under the title Mandapakhyana. And you are in this, just in the beginning stage, so you have not missed much. To give you summarily, once there lived a great king, Padma. His name is Lotus. And he was delightful as a lotus for all his subjects, and more so for his wife, Leela. Leela loved him immensely. And both together, they had a wonderful time. And they gave a lot of joy to their subjects. But Leela began to develop a subtle spiritual sensitivity. She was devotee of Goddess Saraswati. And so began to invoke Goddess Saraswati with a subtle fear in her mind. What will happen if I were to die or if my husband were to die? All this wonderful life, what will happen? And due to her intense devotion, the story says, Goddess Saraswati appeared before her. Queen Saraswati asked, "O child, I am immensely pleased with the austerities you have performed as an expression of your love for your husband. Please ask any boon that you desire." Queen Leela asked, "O goddess, you are the blazing fire that dispels the darkness of age and death." That's Yoga Vasistha is a highly poetic work, implying that Goddess is the remover of all pain and sorrow. And the greatest pain and sorrow that relate to every individual is seeing yourself age, page by page, day by day. Some people will count their hairs of the third degree. I'm joking. And death. The instinctive fear of death is always there from the time you are born. And it is there with every soul, with every jiva, with every creature. How can the soul be free of these dark shadows hovering over the head all the time? Please protect me. Please grant me 2 boons. She had a mystic foxy head. Didn't want her boon to be exhausted. Only 1 boon and that's it. Subtle point is there. When you relate yourself to God, you don't limit His boon by your prayer. Just give me 1 boon. And then I will not ask you anymore. Your asking boon is opening the window to more blessings to come. So keeping that in view, in the storyline, she asks 2 boons. First, if my husband dies before me, let his soul stay in this very place. Don't let the soul go anywhere, just stay here with me. And for my second boon, whenever I pray to behold your divine form, may you appear before. Subtler point of view. God's appearance before you has many mystical implications. If you are in a state of big problem and a solution comes, God has appeared in the form of your solution. But I will not lead you to deeper meaning at this stage so that you can enjoy the story as it moves. Goddess Saraswati said, may it be so, and disappear like a wave that subsides in the vast ocean. The joys of Queen Leela knew no bounds. She came to that feeling that everything is secure. Think of an aspirant comes in with all the problems in the mind, and then he hears the highest truth. Brahman alone is real. Brahma Satyam, Jaganamithya. And his face brightens up, smiles. Oh, I didn't know that. Everything is settled now. I'm just trying to spice up this story. But similarly, Leela, in the beginning, felt this is all I wanted. But this is not all you wanted. There's something more to come. While Leela, now what happens? Time revolves like a wheel. Months and fortnights form the circumference of the wheel, and it goes on the poetic way. Time passed. A challenging situation occurred. Enemies attacked the kingdom. King Padma had to fight against those enemies. And he was wounded. Not ordinarily, mortally wounded. And when he brought to the palace, there he died. Queen Leela was grief-stricken. She was like a withering lotus, deprived of the life-sustaining water. She writhed in agony like a wounded deer. While Leela was immersed in grief, Goddess Saraswati spoke, but kept herself invisible, like a voice proceeding from the sky. O child, keep the dead body of your husband carefully covered under flowers. You will eventually find your husband. These flowers will not wither, and the dead body will not decay. It will come back to life in a short while. In the meantime, his spirit will continue to dwell in this very place, in this very palace. All this is allegorical setting. Just remember, to give you a simple way to understand. And this is, you must realize the context. For masses, the horrible context. Describe dead body of the beloved person. When a family loses a near and dear one, the dead body is there. And the Guru says that his soul has not gone anywhere. He's right here. He's with you. Previously he was in the body, now he's in your heart. It's a higher truth, but it's not easy to understand. It requires your being enlightened to understand that. But to work with it, that's what Hindu culture is. Religion, in a broad sense. Not to face situation of anyone's death with absolute grief and injuring yourself. Imagine for a while that person who is dead is looking at you. How will he feel? Even for his sake. You should not injure yourself. And second point, in the plan, cosmic plan, God is the source of all love and motherly attention. Who loves the soul better than you, rather than God? You may love the person, but you love the person more than God can love the person. So therefore, simple resolution, go on loving God and view the person who has departed is enfolded by God. So by loving God, you are really relating to the departed soul and doing the best you can. But if you don't have that formula, that mantra, then you are just hurting yourself and sending out negative vibrations for the departed soul. Now, coming back to the story. Having heard this divine voice, Leela felt a ray of hope. Just as a withering lotus is delighted with a shower of rain, so she felt delighted at the words of the goddess. She covered the body of the king. In the storyline, the king will come to life. Storyline is a big allegorical story. But what the message is being brought to you, moral, that's what you have to understand. And during the following night, now during this time, she began to miss her husband. And that sense of separation overwhelmed her mind. And she remembered that she has asked the boon, that the soul of her husband is right there. She looked in every direction, every corner. Couldn't find the soul. And yet Saraswati wouldn't have lied. She was in a big predicament. So she invoked the presence of the goddess, because the second boon was. Goddess Saraswati appeared and asked, "O Leela, why have you remembered me? This world process is as illusory as the contents of your dream. Brings the highest truth. But highest truth doesn't satisfy a person. The great truth, the world process that we experience as a reality, the best way to, and a simple way to understand it, is to try to see yourself in a dream experience. While you are dreaming, nothing seems out of order. Everything seems perfectly the way the world should be. And in that world, you are not aware of who you are. You have developed a new identity without the knowledge that this is not your real identity. And the world you are experiencing, that world has no value now. How can all that world exist in your little bed? And then the happenings that go on in that dream, pleasant happenings, you meet good people and have wonderful chit-chat, wonderful party, laddus. Or you encounter tragic situations. Your car breaks down, and I don't have to go into it. And you feel yourself so miserable, living in such a vast world, not knowing what is where. And then, when a little waking insight leaks into your dream, then it doesn't take much time to understand all this is a dream. You don't start mathematically counting. This house is a dream, the sky is a dream, the tree is a dream, all is a dream. It's one movement. Another, all that world that you see in your dream, all the three aspects, seer, seen, and sight, they are you. One person, you alone, has become all that three. This happens so in a natural way that human mind doesn't give any value to it, day by day. But that's the secret way of God's giving you message. Day by day, you go to deep sleep. In deep sleep, you move away from your ego. Time, space, completely are transcended. And you are at your best. You do not miss the world even for a second. God is giving you the message, that's the absolute reality. So if this whole world moves away, you are not going to miss anything. Second stage, if you do not have come to that stage of completely turning away from your ego and seeing all this vanish, the insight of the world you are experiencing is like a dream. And therefore now, you live in the world, do your duties, face challenges, you appear to be in misery, appear to be in happiness. But behind all that, a soothing, comforting reality This is a dream. I am unaffected. That type of revelation, that's called liberation. Until that stage comes, sadhana has to continue. Soul has to strive for attaining liberation. Now, many questions arise along with it. If I became liberated, what will happen to the people? Who will take care of them? I will not deal with more, but just to understand. When you are waking up from your dream, you don't carry that burden in your mind. If the mind carries that burden, that means the mind has not absorbed or assimilated spiritual knowledge. Mind is still believing in the world of multiplicity. Now, Goddess Saraswati appeared and asked, "O Leela, why have you remembered me? This world process is as illusory as the contents of your dream." Leela asked, "O Goddess, where is my husband? What is he doing? How is he? Please take me to him. I cannot live without him." The story in an artistic way is presenting two steps that can help human mind to ultimately grasp all this is Brahman. But in one movement, all this is Brahman, mind gets it, but puts it in the self, an intellectual concept. Goddess Saraswati said, first Goddess Saraswati gives insight into the philosophical reality. "O beautiful Leela, first become acquainted with the fact that there are three types of akasha. Akasha is space. Bhutakash, physical space. That's what the reality of the world is, in physical space. And human mind, if that's what, as long as people have not developed any subtler sensitivity, all human progress, success is described in the terms of physical space and happenings in the physical world. How great was Raja? Look at his Taj Mahal. Physical space. What he accomplished in the physical world. But that's the general mass view of success. The real success has nothing to do with it. Understand, therefore, the role of practical reality that's related to physical space. Then, psychological reality, your sentiments, your feelings, where do they move? When you send to your loved ones, "I'm praying for you. Oh my child, I'm with you." Suddenly you lose grip of science. But that's an expression of supra-science. And simple way to understand, the person describes, "I have lots of problems." And the child said, "How big? Is it bigger than a garage?" So that is space that relates to your mental experience That space is totally different. In the same hall, suppose there are 25 people. Their physical bodies are in one type of space, but their mental body is not in the same space. Each mind has its own mental space. One person is drowning with grief, another was enjoying in grief. And so forth. You live in the same house, when the mind develops sattva, peace, and inner harmony, see, everything looks wonderful around. Things become spacious. Live in the most spacious place. And if negativity develops in your mind, you find yourself cornered with a tiger opening its mouth, and you are in a cord. So that's Chitta Akash. First one is Bhuta Akash, physical space, containing physical realities. Bhutakash, mental space, containing your mental experiences, sentiments, thought radiations, degrees of understanding. All that mental movement happens in that mental space. But behind all this, all that experiences of mental and physical are reflections in consciousness. As consciousness, there is nothing. Firstly, it is like Akasha. Akasha is space. Clouds come in, they do so many things, and ultimately, Akasha, look at Akasha and ask, has anything happened? Or consciousness, pure consciousness, like the lake. Look into the lake, so many reflections are there. And reflections are telling their story. But reality behind all that is nothing but the lake. Reflections have no reality. And for modern type of simile, cinema show. All projections create all that wonderful drama of time, space, causation. But behind all that, the screen. The screen doesn't know anything about it. At the same time, it is the screen that sustained everything. It is Chidakasha that affords, Chidakasha, pure consciousness, that affords different planes of existence to the wandering soul. Therefore, by meditating upon Chidakash, you will be led to the world of your husband's spirit. This world, just like your world, is imagined. It's like a projection on the screen of Chidakash. Goddess Saraswati is giving her a little mystical technique to rise beyond her present personality, to get into what's happening to the soul of King Padma. This is the process of Samadhi. Samadhi goes on opening mystic doors. From Bhutakash, you enter into Chittakash. Chittakash itself has many layers. So if you have any curiosity about any higher layer, meditative process is the way to do it. Therefore, focus your mind on that consciousness within you by renouncing all other thoughts. By doing so, you will soon be led to the plane of your husband's spirit. Thus saying, Goddess Saraswati disappeared. Sage Vasistha is telling this story to Rama. O Rama, Leela then entered into deep Samadhi. By the grace of Goddess Saraswati, she flew like a bird, leaving her physical body behind. Just like we give you the lessons in meditation. Feel you are a bird. You are flying, going to meet this moon. Be blended with the moon and shower your goodwill. She penetrated the very akasha of her own room and discovered another world where she saw her husband manifesting as a different personality. Even within the space of her own room, Leela found herself in a different world, where her husband, now known as King Viduratha, was a young king. He was seated on a throne in the midst of royal glories and was attended upon by numerous counselors, ministers, ambassadors from different countries. Just few days have passed in Padma's world. And now she enters into a different time space. And there, Viduratha is already 16-year-old. In storyline, he succeeded. His father died, and he was the heir apparent to the throne, so he became the king. And now he has been the king in a very young age, 16-year-old. And with all the royal realities and elegance, and Leela sneaks into that world. This type of mystic art was developed long, long ago. World within world. Your scientific progress puts you in the same world process. How? You create a folder in your computer. In the corner of that folder, create another folder. In the corner of that folder, create another folder. Each folder has files. Each has many stories to tell. And you can go on, folder within folder within folder. And if a child near you asks, where is it that you are bringing all this news from? And you show to him, look, one little pen, pinch. That's where. So, where is Viduratha's world? In a little pinch in Leela's palace. And will be surprised as you hear further. Just break the suspense. Padma and Leela, Saraswati gives insight that their whole world is in a corner of her previous embodiment. And that I will not hold back on that. Now, the world he lived in was as real as any world could be. She also saw the ministers and subjects of his previous existence abiding in his world. Now, try to understand, when a soul moves away from one set of realities to another, led by karma, many things of the past, the soul clings to exactly in a similar, they must be similar. Many things should be new. Let me give you some exercise for imagination. If you live in a certain place, then you build up your associations and you build up your concept of whose faces will be more harmonious for you, whose faces will not be harmonious. Circumstances happen that you have to move away completely. You go to another area, another country, and you are looking for the very same faces that you have lost. Led by your karma, very same faces, similar people come together. Seeing from a distance seems that same people have gone there. But it is not so. So Leela saw the husband, 16-year-old. But instead of being comforted, she woke up with big discomfort. It suddenly shocked her heart that he died, but why did he take all these people away from his royal kingdom? He shouldn't be selfish. I'm joking. I'm spicy. It entered her heart. Did all people die? Should I be grieving only for my husband or for all people also? So with that type of feeling in her heart, first she wanted to be sure how situation is. Even in the middle of the night, she summoned all her servants and familiar people and officers and royalties, and they all came together, and they were completely intact. She didn't say why she asked them. She missed them. She was happy to see them and dismissed them. Leela rushed back to her world, entered into her body and rose from the state of Samadhi. And she hastened to awaken her friends and summoned all her ministers and attendants right then in the middle of the night. Soon the royal court was lit up by torches and all the attendants and royal officers were present before her. Saying that she just wanted to console her afflicted mind by their presence, she then dismissed them. Joyously she certified that they had not been transported to another. They all didn't die. Also, leave you to a different way to understand. When you hear big calamities that take away thousands of people, to human mind it's a big sorrow. But in divine plan, souls are following the course of their karmas. So if you allow yourself to be miserable because of things happening in the world, you have a lot of opportunity. News break every moment. The moral of the story. Leave the world and all what happens in the mind hand. Keep your attention to the sphere of your own duty, whatever range you can is available to you for your action. Do your swadharma, do your duties. But do it in the spirit of adoring God. Turn your action into karma yoga. And of course, broadly, follow integral yoga. Confounded by having seen two worlds existing at the same time, her own world where the dead body of Padma is still there, covered with flowers, and she herself is seated by the side of the dead body. Through Samadhi, through astral subtle body, she entered into another world, where the spirit of Padma has become 16-year-old. Time, space is of a different nature. Leela invoked the presence of Goddess Saraswati and sought to be enlightened about the mystery of those worlds. Goddess Saraswati explained, "O child, which of the worlds do you consider real? Which do you consider unreal?" Generally, people become very smart when they try to understand philosophy. What happens to this world when you attain liberation? Where does it stay stuck? I'm just giving in a joking manner. But they cannot understand the world that you are trying to figure out as no reality. Dream. Where did the dream exist? What space did it occupy? In dream history, it is recorded. But you are not in the dream world, or a historian in dream. Goddess Saraswati explained. Now, at each stage, Goddess Saraswati gives more insight into the illusory nature of the world. O child, which of the worlds do you consider real? If you consider your world real and Vidurtha's world unreal, then tell me, what is the cause of Vidurtha's world? Goddess Saraswati gives a very simple logic. The logic is, first point, you see your world, and from your world, you find another world arise, Vidurtha's world. Now tell me, if your world is real, then whatever arises out of it will be also real. But you view the other world unreal, then why don't you view this world also unreal? How can real and unreal be causally related? Figure that out. The effect must abide in the cause. If Vidurtha's world is the effect of your world, and if you say that the latter is unreal, then you must agree that your world too is unreal. Simple logic. If you say that Padma's memory caused the world that he now experiences as King Vidurtha, then since memory is nothing, by memory here means imaginations of the mind, without any substance of its own, just like people say, building castles in the air, big wonderful castle. And then suddenly castle collapses and you weep. then you are led to understand that all the castle you built was not real. Leela asked, O goddess, how did Vidurstha's world arise out of this world? How can I be free from the delusion of the three worlds? That becomes this profound project, purpose of spiritual sadhana. How to be free of the three worlds. And that's what sannyasins talk about. Bhuva sannyastam maya, I have renounced the physical world. Bhuva sannyastam maya, I have renounced this psychological, rather the world of sentiments. Swaha sannyastam maya, I have renounced the intellectual world. The different terms are used, but these are the subtle point. Three planes of experience. How to be free of these three worlds, three planes, three lokas. As long as you are confined to lokas, you are a loco. Speaking from advanced point of view. You are localized. Goddess Saraswati explained, O Leela, this entire world is based on the projection of the cosmic mind, the mind of Brahma. That's the big source of folder within folder. He is the website of it. In a corner of consciousness tinged by ignorance, there lies the mind of the Creator. In a remote corner of his mind, there is an old dilapidated temple, which you know as this world. It is enveloped by crystal blue expansion of the self. This temple has many rooms. Each room presents a plane in the cosmos. The sun and moon serve as lamps for this temple. The mountains and valleys are like little pebbles in one room. And some souls are like mosquitoes buzzing in the corners of another room. Every room is filled with numerous objects. Don't go very far. Learn to see your own computer. One folder contains lots of mosquitoes. Another folder contains peacocks dancing. I'm joking, but figure out what I'm saying. All that there in a big, beautiful little computer. And yet none is there. A little technical problem and all can be taken away. And Saraswati Devi describes it as a dilapidated temple. Technical things are dilapidated, not absolute. Every few years you have to renew it. In one corner of this dilapidated temple, there is a small pit in which can be found a separate world. In this pit there are rivers, mountains, forests, cities, and villages with numerous humans and other living beings. Among them there is a village called Parvatgram, where there once lived a righteous Brahmin, who owned many milk cows. Now the story of the previous life of Padma and Leela. And that is not far. Rather, the whole world of Padma is in the corner of that previous file. Each is like a file within file. Goddess Saraswati continued, the Brahmin's name was Vasistha. Says Vasistha is telling this story. I couldn't think of any different name. And Vasistha's wife was the same as his Vasistha's, Arundhati. But also he points out that relates to him. It's another soul. Sometimes same name is there with different souls. The subtle point of also behind it, that all souls are actually following the same process. It's the same reality, same Rama is every soul. Believe it or not. Now, the story is that Brahmin, all that he had were lots of good cows. But one day he saw, once upon a time, Brahmin Vasistha happened to see a king with his army sporting in a forest. He was deeply impressed by the glory of the king. How wonderful, not to sit with the cows and constantly attend on them, etc. And look how wonderful. And there are stories also, other way around. A king sees with all army and big glory around him, he sees a farmer singing while picking up grasses and weeds in the garden, singing with great joy. He says, oh, how wonderful it would be to be free from all this and feel joy. I'm just super spicing it. This is just a poetic way of describing how everyone is led by fascination that enters your mind. The fascination doesn't enter your mind in one movement, but how you are creating karmas, creating your imaginations. They all add up and create a resultant. And that's it. And while creating it, something becomes very impressive to your mind. And that is what becomes your goal. That's what you get to. He thought within himself how wonderful it would be to be a king. As a king, I would enjoy royal glories. I would be attended by an army of many foot soldiers, horses, elephants, and chariots. I would spread my fame by my righteous acts. This impression continued to linger in his mind even until his death. The Brahmin continued to perform his duties in daily life with an increasing sense of righteousness. And his wife Arundhati also lived a life dedicated to service and devotion. O Leela, just as you have recently secured a boon from me, so Arundhati had once secured a boon. She had also asked that the spirit of her husband should stay confined to her room after his death. So with this we'll conclude. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.